Good morning from another early morning. I told you guys the other day at the 5K that I was going to be here for the marathon, the full marathon. I'm here to show you guys a spectator's point of view of what all the spectators have to do to be able to catch up with their runners. Not only catch up with the runners, but to be able to be there for their runners. Sadly, Christian could not make it today. I know that I mentioned the last 3 days that he was going to be with us. However, there's some complications that came up and he just couldn't make it today. So it is just going to be me. What we're going to try and do is to get to each one of the parks. I'm not quite sure how to get over to Hollywood Studios or Animal Kingdom, but we will figure it out. If not, then sadly we'll just miss those parks. But I do know that from Epcot, which is the start point, we will be heading over to Magic Kingdom after we catch the start. So let's get over to the start. So the cool thing about the marathons and the half marathons that happen here at Disney is they get to run on the road, which is a really cool thing to say, hey, I ran here. With the spectators, they also go out to the road, which is what we're doing right now. We are headed through like the parking road at Epcot, which will then cross us over to the main road of World Drive. At the end of most of the races, your spectator comes to you and says, hey, I want you to know that I walked just as much as you did. Yeah, they took a monorail, yeah, they took a bus to switch through, but they do actually walk almost as much as you do. They just don't run. So we can't be all the way down to the start line for safety reasons. Same with when the racers pass by. They're going to run past us on the opposite side of the road over there by the vans. I also wanted to mention that for the marathon, the way that it works is the first people who are going to be set off at the start line are going to be our wheelchair athletes. They have their own corral and they'll start off first. And then the way that it works is when the marathoners signed up for the race, they were giving a corral letter. And then those will be released in little groups.
Okay, now again,
are they excited? It's gonna be the most magical 26.2 miles on Earth. Are we ready to get them started?
Yes, sir, Mickey. We are ready to start our wheelchair competitors. Let's do it on a count of 3. Mickey, if you will lead us.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
We'll see you at the finish line. Good luck, everybody.
There's our first racers, the
Best of luck.
wheelchair bikers.
How we doing, Corral? All right, looking good. Let's take this to the informal poll as I'm waiting to get the thumbs up. How many people have gotten 4 hours of sleep or more? Wow, 3 hours of sleep. 2, 1.
All right, everybody. 3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off. It has begun. Have fun out there, guys. We will see you at the finish.
Here comes our first runners.
And helping to put together a magical experience. And Corral B coming into place, Justin and Jenny Dukes. Good morning to Team Dukes out here for a great run. And I see purple people as well. Team in training, thank you so very much. Indeed, indeed. A lot of people out there running for a cause. We've seen so many of them out there, including our team in training, National Down Syndrome Society right here. Whether you're running for a cause or you're just running for yourself, have fun out there, guys. We've got great conditions, warm up a little bit later, but if you were here last year, we prefer this, frankly.
So we are going to move on to our next race spectator location. I believe that on the way there are some encouragements, things I have to mention. The cool thing about the Disney marathons, the larger marathons like the half marathon, the full marathon, have things like bands and choirs, extra entertainment. All of the Disney races, marathons, kid races, 5Ks, 10Ks, half, full, all have characters that are special to the marathon itself. I did mention that we could go meet Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy in their marathon gear. But these characters are going to be special to the marathon itself. And these are characters that only the marathon racers can meet. So they're rare and they can only be met this way, by running the race, by walking the race. So like I mentioned, they do have certain motivators throughout the race, certain entertainment. Right across here you can see the band is the very first motivation that they come across, the first entertainment. And they're playing Sweet Caroline as the racers run past them. Just to give you guys a point of reference, this is the Epcot parking lot. This is out where we were spectating to begin with. We still have to walk all the way down there. It's maybe a mile to get back to the main spectator area, or to the reunion area where you meet your racer at the end. We also have to head over to the monorail, which Spaceship Earth is way over there. You may hear later, or even now, that I'll get a little winded because it is a lot to walk. It's Epcot. Now we are headed up to the monorail. We're going to take the monorail over to Ticket and Transportation Center. As we head over to Auto Plaza and Ticket and Transportation Center, you can see all the racers on World Drive. Down there you can see another band cheering the racers on as the racers come through TTC. They actually run through the parking lot. There's one of the pacers right there. So they run through the parking lot through TTC after they come through Auto Plaza. And then they head towards the Contemporary Resort and enter the park in that direction. They do have water stops like this one here. Like I said, the racers will be headed down to the Contemporary using this road here, and they will take a left right down there, head down towards the Contemporary. Come into Magic Kingdom, we have our racers coming through, and they'll enter right into Main Street USA, into the park. And not only is it set up for the marathon, but it's also set up with different music. So right now we're hearing Feed the Birds from Mary Poppins by the Sherman Brothers. And just as we enter, we can see the Main Street vehicles. This is the first thing they'll see as they come down Main Street. And there's no great motivator than entering the park and heading down to the Christmas Castle. Look how beautiful that is. And look at all these spectators here to cheer on their families. Not only that, but we have cast members over there cheering them on. It's fantastic. This sign here says, "Worst Disney parade ever." We have more cast cheering them on. Now what's going to happen is they are going to take a right into Tomorrowland, and they will head around to the back of the castle. Well, they'll come back through into Fantasyland. Then they actually get to run through the castle, and they cross into Liberty Square. We can't follow them into Liberty Square or into Frontierland The reasoning behind that is it is shut off so that only the racers can go back there. There's extra characters back there that they can meet and greet. And then what's going to happen is they're going to exit through the Splash Mountain area and into the back road of World Drive. As they do that, they'll head towards the Grand Floridian, and that's where we're headed next. We're going to meet up with them at the Grand Floridian. Just made it to the Grand Floridian Resort. I am now headed to the view area for the marathon, and then I will walk from the Grand Floridian to the Polynesian because it's easier to walk than to come back for the monorail. I also just turned on my Samsung Health. I thought it was a portion of my phone, however it was not. So later we will account for those steps. Here we are over by the wedding pavilion, and we have the racers passing through here. You can also hear one of the DJs, which is part of the entertainment here. So we are now going to head over to the Polynesian. This is the Shades of Green walkway. So down here, it looks like Mickey and Minnie have made their way over by the Shades of Green sign, and they are in their vacation outfit. Now headed back to the Ticket Transportation Center to get the transportation to Animal Kingdom to catch the Spectator location at Animal Kingdom. Then after that, we will head over to Disney's Hollywood Studios, where we will catch the Spectator location there. I do not know if we can make it out to ESPN, but that is another Spectator location, because that is sort of like the close to the end marker. And then we will head back to Epcot from Hollywood Studios. Just got to Animal Kingdom, and these people are actually exiting Animal Kingdom. Phineas right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the next Spectator location and see where we can move from there. Now we are headed to get a bus to Disney's Hollywood Studios. The runners actually run through Disney's Animal Kingdom, and then they run through to Disney's Hollywood Studios, where they'll run through the park itself. We are headed over there via bus to catch them over there. Now we can't head into Disney's Animal Kingdom right yet because the park opens at 9 o'clock. So we're not able to go in just yet. During that time, when we move across to Disney's Hollywood Studios, I will show you the runners passing us, including mile marker 15. So you guys will get to see that as we pass them. So here's the runners coming out of Animal Kingdom to another one of their water spots. Here's the 15-mile marker. So we're now separating from the racers. So coming into Hollywood Studios, we saw her at Animal Kingdom. She beat us over here. This is the entrance to Hollywood Studios. They are exiting to head around to the walkway to the Boardwalk Resort way back there. This is actually a pretty cool experience. I'm gonna head over to Epcot using the boat. And there they are headed out of Hollywood Studios. Now, because we are strapped for time, like I said, we are going to head over to Epcot. We did not get a chance to head over to ESPN, but we are going to take the boat over to Epcot so that we can catch those racers there at the exit. As I said, they are walking along the pathway right back there. Right now, the only way into Epcot is by either Disney transportation from the outside or by heading over to Magic Kingdom and taking the monorail from TTC. We reach mile marker 24. I did get off at the Swan and Dolphin. I'll cross the bridge and then walk the best route over to Epcot. Right here, they're going to take a turn towards the Boardwalk Resort. And just as they make that turn, headed towards the Boardwalk Resort, we have another one of those bands that are here encouraging on as they play on. There's the runners coming up over the bridge at the Boardwalk Resort, and then they are taking a right into Epcot. We may come close to them as we come into Epcot. As we enter World Showcase through the International Gateway, we see the runners. Now this is the last bit of everything they have to run, and that's World Showcase. Just a little more left. All they have to do is run around World Showcase and then exit out the front. We have the fish shop out here cheering the racers on, and then across the street we have Alice cheering them on. And the UK is where they're entering into World Showcase. Really, really cool. I apologize for the sun, so we'll move this way. Something that I think is really, really cool is while we're spectating in the parks and while they're running through the parks, we're hearing just regular Disney music. We're not hearing park music. We're not hearing area music. We're just hearing Disney songs from Disney movies. And I really like that. I think it makes more of a motivation too, to run to the Disney music that you grew up with. Right now I am in Canada. I am headed around to the entrance of Epcot so that we can get the finish line and catch the racers. It looks like up here, just as you enter World Showcase, there's another spectator area, so we'll head right down there so you can see that. It's just as the racers head back towards Future World for that last stretch. We have the runners right here coming into World Showcase. They're almost there. So as a racer and as a spectator, starting out, seeing the other side of this is how your day starts with this marathon. And to end your day, to end your race, coming down that strip, seeing the Epcot ball is just an incredible, incredible motivator, because you know that you're almost there. You're almost done with the race. So this is the home stretch. What happens now is they will take that corner and they will head back to the back, heading out to the finish line. They are almost done. This is where they come out of Epcot and then head over to the finish line, which is in that direction. So here is the finish line. It's amazing to see all the supporters out here. were their families, were their family members. That is the end of the marathon from the spectators' point of view. We then meet up with whatever racer we're with from the reunion area. That's when we get to talk to them. They get to tell us all the details of all the things that we missed. They get to show us their medal, and that's the race. Now, I have added up the amount of miles that I personally have walked. I have walked, according to the step converter, 5.3 miles, but remember that started from the Grand Floridian on, so I'm going to tack on another 2 miles, so a 7.3 miles that I have personally walked around to keep up with the spectators. Something I would like to mention is I am leaving. I have been up since I would say 3 o'clock. I haven't eaten anything, so the goal is to go eat something. I'd like to say it is impressive, runners, that you guys have done the full marathon, so congratulations to the spectators that are out here running from location to location, because when you run the location to location, it wasn't just like me where I was just going to the location. No, you run there to see your runner, and then you run to your next location to see if you can catch them there. So you're running as fast as you can to get to each location a little bit at a time. So also, congratulations to the spectators for keeping up. It is very hard. Sometimes you have to push yourself a little harder to meet that transportation. But congratulations to both. I hope that if you haven't seen this from a spectator's point of view, this helped just a little bit. So guys, enjoy. It's time for me to watch out for free range grandmas.